What's going on, guys? I haven't done one of these in a while, and you can hear an echo because I'm in a studio right now. I'm not in my studio, but I'm with my good friend, Rackets&Reps. He's way over there. He's actually been my therapist. Not that kind of therapist, but he does a lot of body work.
That too, though.
He does have, so he does a lot of body work on a lot of high level athletes. And what are your titles? And then you're a certified strength and conditioning coach. You're a neuromuscular therapist, right? Yeah. And then let's get a little bit closer in there. So you're a neuromuscular therapist, and you've been in practice for, well, I've known you for like over 5 years now, right?
Well, this is year 8. So starting of year 8, I got my license in like February.
Oh, that's sick. And then you've been a strength and conditioning coach right out of college, right?
Yeah, so I started as strength and conditioning coach. So I got my undergrad in exercise phys from Cal State Northridge.
Yeah.
And then started training athletes out of my garage independently, and then like team training and stuff like that. But like I was always in pain, so it got me into like really being curious and trying to fix myself. Yeah. It was hard to find like a good rehab person. Oh. So I got my license in massage, and then I did like an advanced neuromuscular therapy program. So just kind of like, it's all the same field though. It's all human body, performance, movement. So it's just like, pain tends to be a lot of imbalances. Yeah. And so understanding like how to move in the training part to strengthen weaknesses, and then do the soft tissue part to break up tightness. Yeah. That's like the perfect combination.
There you go. So you, for anything, you've got time under tension and flexibility like in your DNA at this point.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, even like for me, I love trigger point release, myofascial release, and then mobility and strength kind of fixes everything damn near. Yeah. You know, unless it's just like trauma to the body, you know, bruises and if it breaks and fractures from like falling, you know, 3 stories and stuff like that. Yeah. Broken jaw from a fight, that's different. But anything muscular you can pretty much fix.
Yeah, there you go. And dude, your shirt just basically says it.
Yeah, I just made these, so that's my
That's yours?
Yeah, I have my little logo on the back.
And the logo on the back. Hold on, turn around. It's freaking cool, dude.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a, pain sucks when you're in it, so it's kind of like that pain where everybody understands, you know, pain doesn't allow you to do the shit that you like, but pain is also a teaching tool. Oh, yeah. And so when you fix your pain, that's the most beautiful thing in the world. You learn from pain, right? So I'm gonna make some other shirts probably in a couple months saying like, I love pain. Yeah. You know, so it's kind of like that.
Dude, I love pain. I didn't think this was gonna be a whole life lesson episode. Turns out it's a life lesson episode. Yeah, so, all right, cool. Let's get warmed up. Are these the Air X pads?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, doesn't LeBron like sit on like 8 of these?
Cheap ones.
That's fine.
Cheap ones, the same shit. I just need cushion because I got bad knees. Okay. So that's what cross country does to you. Fucking running on concrete.
There you go.
So you'll get a band, anchor it on something sturdy. A rack is obviously optimal, and then you get it around knee height. Yeah. You'll step inside, get it high up right underneath the glute, and then you drop that knee down into that lunge. And so this pull, you'll feel that stretch and your hip flexors open up. You can also kind of rotate a little bit, get some of that QL and lean over.
There you go.
And so you can make it dynamic and kind of more movement based, or you can just sit and let it kind of like open up on its own and try to get that muscle to melt and relax.
Yeah, and this works for anybody that sits down all day, right?
Yeah.
Especially college.
So I mean, like you drove 30 minutes here sitting down, right, on the freeway coming here. So you definitely want to open up your hips so you get that mobility to be able to perform the movements that we're about to perform.
There you go.
And then you can also get a little bit of that quad stretch by just pulling that foot up, right? And then kind of like just find tight areas in your hips.
Yeah, find that spot.
Kind of like, breathe into it, right? Pivot that hip. Just try to unstick the stickiness.
Unstick the stickiness.
Yep.
I'm just like a 5'7" Filipino dude. Nothing crazy except for like college athletics, but nobody wants. I mean, if they want to play tennis, then they'll play tennis. They don't have to go to the gym to play tennis. Yeah. And then like, if you want to do weight loss, just play a sport. You don't even have to go. You don't even have to go to the gym.
It's move more and eat less.
That's all it
as
is.
simple as it fucking gets.
It's like, no, I'm a diabetic. I'm like, okay, then use your low glycemic carbs instead of freaking donuts.
But that's one thing too with a lot of like the trainers and stuff is just they'll showcase themselves and they might showcase like exercises and shit here and there, but like they don't showcase their personality.
Yeah.
You know? And so a lot of people, they buy into you because of you versus the personality. Because to the consumer, like, if we have a line, if we line up all the personal trainers, consumer is just looking at everybody. Who are they gonna choose? Just whoever kind of looks the part, or like if they actually look at, you know. I mean, they'll choose, if it's a girl, they'll choose a girl trainer that has the butt that they want. Yeah. Not knowing that she always had that butt, you know, like, or she loves to work out and it's 8 years, 10 years in to working out. But when you're a spectator on the outside looking in on IG, it's just like, okay, well, if your page is showing your personality and it's just like, oh, I click with that person.
Yeah. Oof. You puffed yourself?
Yep. So second, we can kind of open up our ankles.
Bro, did you rock the shorts just because we're doing deadlifts today?
You have to, man. You have to. Sex sells, man.
That's what it is.
Sex sells.
All right, so ankles.
Yeah, so now it's a low anchor, right? You get a lighter band, and then we'll just kind of open up the ankle. So you'll step inside, step out, so you can feel the resistance. Yeah. And then here, you just kind of like sit down and let that band pull and open up that ankle for you. So we'll sit here for like a minute or two and then switch, right? Yeah. And then you can also do like a little balance drill to turn the feet on. So because this band is pulling you anteriorly, it wants to pick up, but now you have to grab the floor to just activate the foot and all the little muscles in there. Yeah. So you get better leg drive before we deadlift.
There's like 16 tendons in like the ankle itself, right? Not talking about the metatarsal.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch going on in the foot. So many bones, but it's just like, biologically, I mean, physiologically, our bodies are supposed to kind of grab the floor when we walk. Yeah. So this is not going to be as stable as this. Yep. Right? And then the more you grab, like, I mean, me at rest, you don't really see anything activate, but as soon as I grab the floor with my feet, you see my gastroc turn on.
Dude, that's freaking
And then as soon as I screw myself on, you see everything else turn on. So now I'm like screwing myself into that hip socket.
Yeah. Talk about like foundation, man. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go jump on this too.
I mean, it's just like the people that use the most in any field, any craft, are the most insecure. Because you're not working with the knowledge. Like, I can fix someone just with my two thumbs, you know? Like, I don't need to do all this shit, but I have the luxury. So might as well just kind of implement the tools. But you see, even within my field, you see so many rehab therapists using so many tools and they lose the art of like the hands. Like, this is the best tool on the planet. Yeah. And so my brain and my hands is what's gonna fix you and help you. Not no scraping tool or cupping set.
Or massage gun.
Everybody's using a massage gun, and like, that's only percussion therapy.
If you, like 90% of the people that use the massage gun don't even know like the real way how to use it. They're just using it.
But even like pure percussion, it's good to activate like before a workout and then keep it active during a workout. It's not true rehab. Yeah. Like, true rehab is when you got to get blood flow into an area, but you want to turn off tight muscles and then strengthen your weaknesses. So once you find tender and tight areas, you want to just dig in and then work on your breathing to turn that off, feel it melt before you move on. But like, how can your quad turn off and melt and like deactivate if it's just getting 1,000 fucking, you know, it's just too much stimulus for the body to shut off, you know? It's trying to like sleep while you get a mariachi band playing. What were you feeling with your lower back after you deadlifted?
It's always the right where the lumbar meets the sacrum. It's always that spot. I did a little bit of abduction to warm up the glute medius. Last Monday, I think. And so I just put the band around my knees and I just pressed outwards just so I could get those hips kind of stabilized. And then I felt like I was locked in, grounded, and I felt super stable after that. But whenever I forget to warm up the glutes sometimes, before I started doing what, clamshells, dude, my back was just like, I'd be out for like 2 weeks. I couldn't even squat afterwards.
We'll do this one for your lower back.
Okay.
For you specifically.
Me specifically.
And this one would be obviously something that you can do with a partner.
Up here? Is there a way that you want these?
Oh, I'll take that one. Yeah. Seems like keep them on back. Those are the good ones.
I love your filing system.
Yeah. So this one is a low anchor as well.
Okay.
And this we'll do individually per side.
Yeah.
But you'll step inside and then create the X to grab.
Okay.
Right, and then you'll step back so you feel some of that pull.
And then the band will literally pull your...
And then I'll sit behind you and give you a nice pull so you get that decompression.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
This could, one more time?
Yeah.
So you put this around...
So it's a low anchor and it's kind of like a mid-tier resistance.
Yeah.
So not too light, but not crazy heavy. And you'll step inside around the ankle and then you make an X just so it grabs.
Okay.
Right, and then you'll kind of step back. Right, and so it starts pulling and you'll get some nice decompression. And then you'll just lay down. And if you have a partner, they can sit behind you and give you a nice pull at your arms. And you'll feel that decompression of your spine, your hips, your knee. Right, you can sometimes put like a foam roller here if you just want to decompress the knee and the ankle. But for you specifically, you can get some space and some blood flow and nice decompression at that sacrum.
Oh, there you go.
Right, and then just get that whole, everything like to elongate a little bit. Right. And if you want more tension, but like simply just taking a big deep breath, squeezing your glutes, getting like a nice little like PNF, 8 to 10 second squeeze, and then relax, and you feel that pull.
Oh, there. Do that again.
Right, so you squeeze, so contract, release, like an 8-second hold, and then boom, relax.
Dude, I could see it.
And you'll feel it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So this is amazing post-workout after like a squat day to decompress, a deadlift day, just loading your spine a lot. But if you are feeling compressed from the get-go, you can open up a little bit before.
There you go. It's sick.
And then obviously switch sides.
Nice.
My goal is just to like never touch my online money. So create like an app, I'm gonna create like my version of 75 hard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna really like get to work and like launch it by my birthday in July. So I'm gonna do like a 55 fix. So I feel like
I remember you
55, in 2 months you can pretty much create the momentum to fix everything in your life.
Yeah.
Create the mindset, have books available.
All right, my turn.
Now arms up. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze.
Should I put my left leg out?
You can hold it there, it don't matter. So squeeze and then relax.
Dude, I feel like I just got a 13th T-spine. So I forgot that this camera has a 30-minute recording limit.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what we missed. All right, so this bar is different, right?
Yeah.
A little more
It's a
different.
deadlift bar.
Okay.
So it has a little whip. I mean, you only feel it once you kind of get into the 300s though, but
Once you get into the 300s.
just feels good. Just feels sexy. It's like it's a little thinner and then the knurling feels really good.
Yeah. The bar's thinner?
Yeah, just here. It's the same weight as the regular, but it's just thinner for a
Oh,
better
dude, I already see it flexing.
Yeah. But you'll see it. You'll start feeling it like just at the top, depending how explosive you are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I mean with the deadlift you wanna like take the slack out the bar.
Right.
So you hear that little wiggle room between the bar and the plate.
Right.
Right? You wanna like pull yourself into it. So it's called the deadlift, but you don't wanna think of lifting the weight. You wanna think of like pushing the ground away and your whole upper body's kind of like just create the tension like a leg press.
Yeah.
So imagine like putting yourself into that leg press position and you're just driving into the ground, right? And then even on the way up, don't think of just lifting it up in a straight line. Think of like getting pulled back diagonally.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so for people, beginners, it's hard for them to understand like that pull back.
Yeah.
Because when people just think of lifting straight up, they'll kind of maybe lock out first and then there's all that space in the bar and then you feel all that tension on your lower back.
Yeah.
So the more space in between the bar and yourself is all lower back.
Yeah.
That's where people get injured. Versus like when you pull back, you can kind of slide it up the body. And so for beginners and stuff, just so they feel it, I love the band setup of the band pulling the bar.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Right, so now they activate their lats and they have something to pull back against. Because if you don't have that mind-muscle connection or that kinesthetic awareness. So once you feel it, you're like, oh, like you feel that, right? You feel the positioning better. And so this is a nice setup for beginners. Yeah. To where like the band kind of like, okay, you can't do it wrong because you're literally just pulling against what's pushing. Back. Feel good?
Cool.
What's your goal? Is there a certain like number you want, like strength level you want to get to this year?
You know, what first goal was to be able to deadlift 80% my capacity for a few reps to where I don't have back pain. Okay. You know, I mean, in terms of fitness level, the deadlift is like the worst thing to do because you can get injured so easily. Yeah. But just for our own pride, you know, deadlifting 500 would be like my all-time goal. Okay. I mean, 425, I'm already like, I'm just inches away from it. Yeah. But it's like, how sustainable is the training from 425 to 450, and then 450 to 475? And then
well, once you start reaching to a certain goal, now it's like, how much focus are you, right? Because you can get there. It's just like the speed in which you get there, though. It's just like, if you really care about it so much, your whole life revolves around it. Yeah, and you can get there faster than like just shit, you know, like, cause like I want to deadlift 555 this year, like the end of the year. Okay. So now it's like my life has to revolve around it though, because I ain't gonna be able to do that unless
you don't get a high deadlift unless you're obsessed about it. Dude, I remember when 315 used to be hard. I would deadlift like every other day. Oh yeah.
But for me, it's just like, for me to get to 555, I have to not deadlift.
Oh, the resting part?
The rest, like taking rest days, taking deloads, and then just legit, just a lot of accessory work to build my weaknesses, you know? Yeah. It's the not deadlifting. Like my form is pretty good. Now I just have to get strong where I'm weak. My downfall is always like, I love deadlifting so much, I want to deadlift every day. And that's where the overuse and the injuries are just there, you know. I hate squats so much. There we go. And then even just making the lightweight hard.
Oh, dude, I
like,
hate...
One thing that no one ever does is like slow concentrics. People do pauses, but even pauses they sometimes do wrong, or they don't make it hard enough. But slow concentrics, like I can make, if you go slow on the way up, you'll feel nothing but core and quads with the conventional. So like if you legit go here. Yeah. Yeah. That'll take everything out. You have no momentum, you're only using muscles, and now you start feeling shit you've never felt. So, and that time under tension is just more than most people get doing 10, 15 reps in just one rep. Yep. But now you start getting strong. Yeah. And then even like true isometrics where you're like pinning it against something. So, I think I wish I had a better rack.
Oh. So you do like a half deadlift and then you pull it against the rack.
Yeah,
right?
you go true isometrics where you're pulling with everything you got into something unmovable, and you place that position where you're weak. Mm-hmm. Like for me, my weakness is here. Okay. So if I ever touch my knee, I'm locking that shit out. I've never had a knee. I will always lock it out if it touches my knee. But and then I can always kind of get it moving, but it's here where it's my weakest. And so that's where, again, it's the more you break down, that's how you get, you know what I'm saying? The more obsessed you are with everything. So like even like me obsessing, I pull sumo. Yeah. I save my spine, I have scoliosis, I've always had issues with my hips. Yeah. So conventional, like, I can do both, but like sumo is where I'd rather prefer and I don't care. Sure. I like to make fun of it and it's cool, but even like when I'm doing body work, I'll be in my sumo stance. So the more you obsess over everything, you start, like I'm doing mobility while I'm working on people. Yeah. I'm building endurance, in that position while I'm working on people, right? And so it's just cool. People don't think that way.
What's crazy is that, I mean, when somebody takes like the first look at you, they're like, you don't have the powerlifting physique.
I look like a runner, and I
you're not
running
that
is
big
painful
old
to me.
bulky.
Yeah.
I waddle everywhere.
Yeah.
No, but like, just because you have the technical and even the neurological side of things down, you can move weight even if somebody's like 20 pounds heavier than you.
Oh, yeah. It was like strength is like musculature, recruitment and efficiency, like getting everything to work together. Biomechanics.
Yeah.
I have good leverages for deadlifts.
Yeah.
I just still have weaknesses that like, you know, like my spine's always crooked forever. So I have to like do extra work to make sure the injuries aren't there.
Yeah.
But when you love something, you do it. Like I used to always get injured. I got injured more squatting than I would deadlifting.
Yeah?
Because I didn't love squatting.
Oh.
So I didn't do all the prep work that I needed to.
Really?
Yeah.
I see people only do like 5 minutes of prep work.
And one thing too, where it's just like, when you're compromised, or you have restrictions, or you have injuries, do all your accessory work first and do the compounds last. Always. Too many people just go off that textbook bullshit where it's just like compounds first, where it's just like, if you do all your accessory work, especially unilateral, you start fixing your imbalances and you start turning muscles on. So now the deadlift, the squats, the overhead presses, the bench press, they feel good. You get access to your muscles instead of just lifting with your joints and lifting with momentum and lifting with ego. You know.
Dude, I've seen so many people get hurt just ego lifting.
Yeah.
Cool, you're doing 300 when you're like 19 or even younger. But when you squat and your chest is still facing the ground, like, dude, how much pressure can your...
I mean, it just sucks where it's just you see people that it looks like I don't know, like I see it, you see it with runners, right? You see people that they ran for 10, 15, 20 years, they are runners, like that's part of their identity, but they're not built for running, right? Yeah. And so it looks painful, but they're just used to running and they run every morning and they run every day, but they're not built for it, right? And that's why some people are just, they don't have injuries yet and they squat and it's just the worst fucking mechanics and it's just like,
how are you not dying right now?
Yeah, like I've seen so many people with shit mechanics. And you want to put 275? Or you want to go 3 plates?
We could go 3.
Yeah, man, like ego lifting, it's needed though. It's fun to humble people. Because eventually the injury will happen, you know? Yeah. And so that's why I'll forever have a job. Well, but pain is inevitable, and there's also like, you don't know what your limits are until something goes.
Oh yeah.
Right, you don't know how much you can actually take and how far you can push with until something breaks. And now it's like, now you know. And then now with knowing, you have a feel about where that becomes, and then you just keep trying to push that. Yeah. So it's just like, once you start feeling that shit again, you tailor it down, you start getting smarter. What can I work on? What are my weaknesses? And then you keep pushing that line.
Yeah, and I mean, not to make it, what was it called? Philosophical, but even that mindset happens in business too. Yeah. Or in self-development. Oh yeah. Because you could hurt you, like, what was it? Like, if you have enough cortisol, then you'll start developing health problems.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, so many people are scared to fail, and I've been a victim of it too, and it's just like overthinking and all this dumb shit, but it's just like, I didn't start making money till I just started doing, you know? And then you just keep doing, and it's not a failure unless you quit. Yeah. Right? And so like Mark Cuban was the best, like one of the nicest quotes where it's just like, I think it was Mark Cuban. He's like, to be rich, you just gotta be right one time. That's it, and your life is forever changed. So it's like, keep fucking up to your right. Like the whole point is just to fuck up to your right. Like, You know, you only gotta be right one time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. It does flex around 315.
Yep. Nice. Oh yeah. Last one. Good.
Except for that toe up, it all felt solid.
I feel good. You can use a little like mini band setup too, just to get better grounding and start fixing your imbalances.
Oh, that's right.
And then one thing that's awesome too is just like the big toe is so fucking important.
Oh, tell me about it.
And so even like the barefoot,
Oh yeah.
deadlifting barefoot, and you can put this like in your big toe. So the big toe is super, super important, especially for lower, like your lower back and stuff. And so a lot of people have weak feet. So you can get a mini band. You can probably get a weaker one, obviously, a yellow one, and just throw it in between your toes or like mid-foot. So it recruits everything, right? But this allows you to drive your toe down and recruit your glutes with that external rotation. So like this is a nice setup, corrective like setup, right? If you do have issues with driving that big toe downward. So you feel a difference. When your big toe activates, you can recruit a lot more in your lower back and your glutes. And then just that band pulling you in where you're externally rotating to get your glute medius to fire and just recruit better tension and get more muscles involved. You don't want your toe to be up when you're doing any lifts, right? That big toe is so important to drive into the floor. There you go, nice wedge, feel that. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that's the fastest 405 has gone up.
That felt good.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
But just the wedging and the feel, right?
Yeah.
And then the mobility in your ankles. Yeah, don't wear those anymore.
Yes. Easy work. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right, guys. So, you know what's crazy is that was like the fastest 405 has ever gone up for me. And it all has to do with how you start up and how you kind of program your muscles.
Activate everything, get everything to fire. So you have access to your strength.
Absolutely.
You know?
And so guys, this is Eric. His handles are
FRT Rehab on everything.
Yeah, so he has a lot of really good content out there, and he's kind of funny sometimes too.
Sometimes.
So sometimes.
It's just Mondays and Thursdays.
All right, guys. So if you want to learn more, go ahead and reach out to Eric. If you want to get a good workout in, I'm always here. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Hope you guys learned something about how to set up for your deadlift. I'll see you guys later. Bye, Eric.
Thank you, man.
Bye.